Hello and welcome to what is a special edition of the Gaitpost Arena Show. As you can probably tell by this ridiculous get-up I am wearing and all the decorations behind me, this is our Christmas special. We even have a Christmas tree with gin baubles on them. That's right, gin in the baubles. Anyway, we have loads of great stuff coming up for you on the show, including a feature interview with passionate equestrian Alastair Stewart. We also sent some lucky members of our team down to the Running Horse pub in Mayfair for a cocktail making lesson, and some of them got a little bit giddy, put it that way. We also shine a spotlight on some great products that have caught our eye over the last few weeks, and there will also be our burning question of the week.
Right lads, are you there? Let's create some magic.
Catch up with all the latest equestrian news by heading over to thegaitpost.com. The 2018 event guide, in association with Champagne Pol Roger, is now live with all the information you need to plan your season. From hotels for owners, route planners, things to do in the area, the best pubs, restaurants, and most importantly, dog-friendly hotels. It's a unique resource for the eventing community. Plus, in other news, there's an integrated approach to kissing spine management from the team at Scott Dunn's Equine Clinic. All the news from Olympia, the London International Horse Show, some very tasty looking recipes for your hip flask, and the latest blogs and features. Now there is a feature coming up here that I am particularly jealous of because I didn't get the call up, but Sarah Hesseltine and Eve Jones went to Mayfair for a cocktail experience, all in the name of work apparently, and this is what they got up to.
We're here at the Running Horse Mayfair to sample their slow Gin Fizz cocktail.
So today we're going to make a slow Gin Fizz, which is very festive, and a few different spices with it. We're going to use 100 ml for 2 cocktails, so it's 50 ml in each. The next thing we're going to add is some stem ginger. So this is going to add both the sweetness and a little bit of the spice. So we want sort of 1 small nugget per drink. So we're going to go for 2. I'll put 2 small ones in there. There we go. And then we're going to muddle the drink down a little bit. You can do it with whatever you like, but muddling is muddling is the term. It basically just means crushing down all the little bits in here, just to get the flavour out. So you want fresh lemon juice. Don't use Jif or anything like that. And you're looking for about a shot per cocktail. Obviously it is quite sweet, slow gin already has sugar in it, so you need to balance that out nicely. If you're doing it like en masse, it's good to do this bit in advance. So I'm going to use 3 lemon halves for this. And so that's your basic drink done. Now we're going to shake it down, because it's always fun to shake the cocktail. So we add the ice into this side, then we put the tin on top, seal it up so it doesn't go everywhere, and give it a good shake. So this mixes it all together, cools it down, obviously chills it down to the right level. You want to do it until your hand is too cold to touch the glass. Okay, then we want to add more ice. And then finally, we want to top it with soda. So this will give it a little bit of a spritz. If you're feeling really festive, then you can top it with champagne. However, I can't help but think it's a bit of a waste of good champagne. So you need to give it a good stir, otherwise people will just drink the rocket fuel at the bottom. And then we have it. 2 slow gin fizz.
God, it's beautiful.
Thank
you. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
It's delicious. Oh, it's so tasty.
That's delicious.
Is it Christmas in a glass?
It is definitely Christmas in the glass.
Is this on the menu at the Running Horse?
It is, yeah. So it's on the menu for all of Christmas.
This is the oldest.
It is the oldest pub in Mayfair. We were established in 1738. So there are older buildings within Mayfair in terms of pubs, but we were the first one that was a pub from day one. So it used to be called the Galloping Horses of Hanover.
Yeah.
And then it was changed in the 1800s to the Running Horse.
Okay.
And it has been so ever since. From the day one that we took on the Running Horse, we always wanted it to be kind of a home for anyone who was looking for, we call it London's home for horse racing. So any of the big racing meets, we will show them downstairs in the pub and up here as well in the cocktail bar. It's a fantastic way for people to watch it who can't get to Cheltenham, can't get to Ascot, can't get to...
It's a great atmosphere.
Still get the atmosphere, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. It's packed to the rafters and, you know, frankly, you get a better view as well.
Yeah.
And a bit warmer.
And a bit warmer, yeah. And obviously, far better drinks.
Obviously, better drinks.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much. It's been amazing.
You're welcome.
Delicious.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Cheers.
That looked pretty fun and the cocktail looked absolutely delicious. The recipe will actually be on the gaitpost.com, so go have a look at the website and you can make that at home. Maybe I'll get an odd next year. Who knows, miracles might happen. Anyway, now it's time to shine a spotlight on some products for you and your horse.
Having heard so much about the new Spiller's Speedy Mash vibe, it was great to put it to the test. It's a super fast soaking sugar beet blend with a delicious apple aroma, and what's brilliant is it takes less than a minute to prepare. Super convenient, easy to use, it's perfect for those chilly mornings when your horse is hungry and you've got a busy yard to get through. Just add 1.5 times the warm water to the amount given. So for me, 1 scoop of Speedy Mash per horse and 1.5 of warm water, and I've also been adding in a small amount of Happy Hoof. High in fibre, low in starch and molasses free. It's suitable for every horse or pony, including good doers, those prone to laminitis, and also it's great for senior horses with poor teeth, those that have difficulty chewing long fibre. And well, the proof's in the pudding. These guys absolutely love it. We've been using Hawkins Organics pH Balance Winter Warmer Wash for a while now. It doesn't get more Christmassy than this. It smells divine with its organic cinnamon, clove and ginger, which help remove sweat and can also help warm tired muscles. It's perfect as a wash for after exercise or a day's hunting, and we've also used it after clipping. With antibacterial properties, it's suitable for regular use, and what's great is it doesn't contain any nasties, no sulfates, parabens or chemicals. Stay safe and be seen in Horsewear's unisex reflective Corib jacket, which come in sizes from XX small to XX large, so it's perfect for all the family. It's both waterproof and machine washable, and I love its cosy warm fleece lining and high collar, plus it also has a useful inside pocket and a folded hood in the neck. I have a size larger in order to fit my back protector underneath. And don't leave the high vis just for you. Horsewear's Rambo reflective night rider boots offer 360-degree visibility to the horse's limbs. With a one-wrap quick closure system and a neoprene inner, they're perfect everyday protection for your horse.
Now it's time to head back to London for our feature interview. Eve Jones chats to Alastair Stewart about his passion for equestrianism and what inspires him.
So Alastair, very nice to have you here with the Gaitpost. Thanks for being with us.
Pleasure.
You are best known as news broadcaster and journalist. How did you become involved in charity work?
You're absolutely right. Horses are crucial to our family. Both my wife and I rode ponies when we were kids, and
my wife decided at a very early age that if we got married and had kids, she hoped that they'd ride. And Freddie runs a livery yard, Oscar's a jump rider, show jumper, and Clem's a headmistress, and she still keeps her horse at home. And I think it's one of those things I feel, you mentioned the day job, as it were. I genuinely believe in giving something back. We do get approached by a whole range of charities, and that's lovely. And you have to discipline it by thinking, is there an association? Can I say, I support the Mark Davis Injured Riders charity because? And the answer is yes, I can, because it could happen to my kids.
You rode when you were a child. What first got you on a horse? Where did your passion root?
Oh, again, it's very strange. Whether it's genetic or hero worship, I don't know. But my maternal grandfather was in the Mounted Police. This is one of the things I am most proud of in my life. He was an extra in David Lean's Charge of the Light Brigade on a wonderful grey horse, and he was just a great character. Sidney Ernest Lord. He was a bit of a lad from Farnham, and he loved horses. And so my mother, she loved horses, and her parents actually, including Sidney Ernest Lord, he was the chauffeur. It was Downton Abbey, upstairs, downstairs. So he was the chauffeur, and Gertrude Irene, bless her heart, my maternal grandmother, was a kitchen maid. And but on the big house where they worked, they had stables and a yard and what have you. And my mother used to smuggle food out to the horse, and so I suppose if it's a genetic thing, it's there, but it is the sheer beauty of the creature. And I've said it so many times. That poem at Olympia I can't recite, but it captures it perfectly.
You mentioned your son who rides, and he's a professional show jumper, and you've ridden since childhood. What do you think are the benefits and the skills that children get from learning to ride and handling horses?
The almost philosophical starting point is the respect for a living creature, and it might be a pussycat or a puppy, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But when it's 5'7" lad like Oscar, Fred's much taller, but Oscar's he's a jockey, so he's not the tallest of people yet in the world, standing next to a ton of athletic horse and respecting it. But knowing if he rides properly and behaves properly and treats the horse properly, that respect is mutual. I support riding for the disabled as well, and that's one of the greatest single joys. How these beautiful creatures can take an autistic child and get a smile is magic. So it is a no-brainer. I love them.
You have described show jumping as the greatest sport on God's earth.
Yes.
What is it about jumping specifically that you love to watch?
I'm hooked from the moment that even the top... I've got photographs of Scott Brash and Nick Skelton walking a course. From the moment they go in, assess the course, start to imagine in their heads how that first round's going to go, and then also start to think what the jump off might be, where they can nick a second here, half a second there, all of that. How at speed they can remember what is not like a motor racing track, but is over this way, then back that way, then round again and do that one, and what have you. There are numbers by the jumps, but Scott Brashes and the Ben Mayers ain't looking at those numbers as they're going around and what have you. I just think it's phenomenal. And again, I repeat myself, mea culpa, but it's being up close and personal to these fantastic athletes, and I don't mean the men and women, I mean the horses, and seeing them do it, and these magnificent creatures turning on a penny. But there is one other thing, and funnily enough, I said it almost by accident there. I am prouder than proud that our sport is gender blind. And you can be watching someone like Yasmin Pinchin, or you can watch Jess Mendoza, or you can watch Scott Brash, or you can watch Ben Mayer and what have you. And whoever is best on the day wins. It doesn't matter whether it's a boy or a girl. That's fantastic.
Yeah, good. In terms of venues, where do you like to go if you're following your son? Where's a really good venue locally that you like to?
Yeah, I love going anywhere. I love going anywhere where Oscar and Freddie and Freddie's girlfriend are riding, because that's part and the parcel of it. Whether it's and there's a sort of coffee wagon and everyone
and bacon butties.
Yeah, the inevitable bacon butties and cheesy cheesy fries.
Cheesy chips, yeah. Mayo, all the...
Just dreadful, but yeah, just have to have one just to make sure everything is okay. And you know, where they are is a certain je ne sais quoi that turns somewhere special. But I like Western Lawns up in the Midlands. They're lovely people and always make us very welcome. Quab locally to us down in Hampshire, lovely family set up. They do very well. Parley near Bournemouth Airport. Again, these are little places that the superstars will never have heard of, but they will have gone through their equivalents to get up to the top of it. I mean, in terms of the sort of the top events, I would say it was literally a dead heat, not just because they're both very dear friends, but I would be really hard pressed to choose between Hickstead and Bolesworth. And we, as a family, we love both. And it's not just because the Barbers are a lovely family and the Buns are a lovely family, but there's just something very special about both of those events. The location's fantastic. They're both brilliantly run events, whatever you happen to be going to. So it's nice to be able to do both.
Who is, in your opinion, the ultimate horse?
An Appaloosa called Hannington to the Point. Known within my family as Spot. If I cry halfway through, forgive me. We bought Spot for Freddie when he was about 9 and saw Freddie all the way through ponies perfectly well until he then transitioned to horses, and he handed over Hannington to the Point Spot to Oski. And Oski then carried on up until he'd finished and went into horses, and off he goes and does very well on that. And our vet, who is our neighbour, a lovely man called Graham Lunn, has a lovely daughter called Georgina, and Georgina rode Spot until we got to the point where the vet said he's now got to an age where he's not enjoying it anymore. And that's always been the house rule. And in fact, he'd developed liver cancer, and we took the toughest decision that you can take. But as a family, we owe him. Hannington to the Point, Spot.
Well, in terms of professional horses, if there was the horse that you could have got the ride on, sat on for a day?
I'm not going to say Big Star, and I've been lucky enough to watch Big Star and the brilliant Nick Skelton do his thing upon it. But partly because of the story that goes with it, but Ben's Triple X it reminds me physically a little bit of one of Oscar's horses called Phoebe, same kind of colouring, quite striking colouring. But I also like the fact that this was a horse that the rider produced as well. And I've watched Ben on Triple X several times, and there's a Scott and Ben have both got it. It's a lightness of touch, which the young ones aspire to, and those who get close to it will be the next ones who do well. There's no tugging, heaving, and what have you. And to watch Ben and Triple X in harmony was a joy to behold, and I would love to have seen Oscar try. So Triple X is
have a little sit on
pretty
him,
tasty.
Yeah. Well, that's our questions. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure
Alastair.
talking to you, and thank you for finding time for me.
What a great guy, and what a fascinating interview. I mean, the amount of hours of charity work he's put in over the years is pretty inspiring. But we're going to move on, and it's, again, one of my favourite features, Burning Question of the Week time.
Happiness is going home.
Being out here, the eventing, the kids being along. This, for me, is perfect. Every day of the week, perfect.
My family and friends. I think, Mike and Mia, everything to me. So, yeah, definitely family.
Just life as it is.
Spending time with the wife. Yeah. When she's nice to me.
Being out in the field with my dog, having some quality time alone.
Pretty good.
Winning a Grand Prix in London is definitely happiness, without a doubt.
It's usually being at home for 4 days without any bios to write.
Being at home with my family.
Happiness is this. If you can't make your life happy, then you're doing something wrong and you need to change it. So, tomorrow
All my children are coming up, having everybody here, outside, doing what we love, doing it together. You know, that is happiness, really.
At home.
Winning, love winning, and time with my family.
Home, hanging out with the kids, afternoon off, play a few holes of golf with my mates, have a few beers and a barbecue. Perfect afternoon. And then spend the evening with my wife.
Being at home with my husband and my dogs.
Winning. And if they say it's not winning, they're lying. If you win, you're happy.
I think being content. Yeah, and being happy with who you are.
That's it for the Christmas episode of The Arena Show. We hope you've enjoyed it. As standard, head over to our Facebook page, give us a little like and enter the competition, which this week is in association with Horseware. Also give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram. And for all the equestrian news and updates, go over to thegaitpost.com. We'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you the best of luck going into 2018 and stay tuned for more arena shows in January, where we'll be bringing you episode 4, which has a feature interview with Laura Collett.